Hmm.
Hey, yo, hey, we're doing this thing. Hey, it's fight week, Las Vegas. Canelo versus Crawford, Saturday night on Netflix. BCX, put it up. We are two men about to get inside the box. Look, I'm Brian Campbell, live and direct from my Vegas hotel room. That is Rafa Bartholomew from suburban Detroit. And Rafe, I'm trying to do my own road tech here. So if I sound way too loud or way too washed, just let me know at any point. All right.
And ditto on that's the I was about to say if I seem way too tired or way too washed, feel free to let me know. They're already letting me know. I know.
Yeah.
My Steve Novak workout took more out of me than usually. What can I
Okay.
say? Then I was watching Georgia try and mount this comeback against Finland in the Eurobasket quarterfinals a couple weeks ago. They got jobbed, man. They got jobbed. Georgia. See, now I'm working myself into it.
Okay, the whole day through. You know what I mean? Just an old sweet song. But either way, Lazy Bed's right.
Come on, let me put some water on your balls.
Exactly. Eric. Great to be back here. I've been on the ground.
Can you tell us a little bit about where you are in Las Vegas? Are you worried about being doxxed? Are you worried about people coming for you? I don't mean anyone from the kingdom. I just mean all of the rabid BC fans out there who want a little pound of flesh, a little souvenir for themselves.
No, they ain't getting that pound of flesh. No, I've gotten shouted out by a few people. I have not been accosted or threatened by anyone of any high authority. Also,
how's your room? How's Vegas? Tell me, man. I haven't been in Vegas in 6 years.
I'm at the Fontainebleau. It's at the north end of the strip. It's less than 2 years old. I'm blown away. This place is absolutely beautiful. And there is like signage and Canelo and Bud statues everywhere. They're giving away t-shirts left and right to it feels, I can't speak for the rest of the strip. My cab driver had never heard of Canelo or Crawford, but it feels like a really big one this week. And under zero circumstances, let me shake your hand. Will I hold that man's hand? Under zero circumstances, okay? Zero. Thank you very much.
What if you have a little Groves Frotch moment where he is like, Brian Campbell, I would like to shake your hand. You're walking away. You're that kind of guy.
Yeah.
You're not. Look, you got to handle like a cobra. Clasp that hand and say, "Oh, we can all do a little bit of a tug and a pull, can't we?"
Yeah, I mean, look, is he a great guy? I mean, what are we even talking about?
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
They say they took him out of the Turkish consulate. They say they did.
Yes. What? Dad is here. Wow. Thank you, Dad. What minute? What Tutu's prison? Hey, happy to be here. Happy that HE is footing the bill so we can get this super fight, undisputed super middleweight championship. We are here today, BC and Bugs, to provide you with our predictions, cut through the bullshit like a machete in the woods during the movie Predator.
We may try, but we will fail.
But there's certain questions that you don't ask of a man, okay? Right? Do not ask what is on the USB stick. There is some news. There's a lot of news. I mean, real quick here from Monzo. Is Luke staying at the Fontainebleau? No, Luke is on the other end of the strip this week. But for all you Morning Combat fans,
What happened? How did that work out?
he's actually out here for his own business reasons. It just worked out perfectly that we are both going to be here Friday. So we are actually the Friday live Morning Combat episode will happen not at the normal time. It's going to be a little bit later, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Why? Because we're going to be a part of an All the Smoke takeover in which we are hosting the first hour block, Luke and BC, giving you your Friday morning combat fix.
They're giving you guys the prime slot.
The curtain jerkers unite. But, then we'll give way to Akim Barak, Andre Ward, Roy Jones, Stack, and Matt Barnes. I mean, it's going to be all the smoke palooza, baby. So we will kick that off.
Well, it's
Friday.
good to know that you white gentlemen are representing at the beginning of the show.
Are you calling me a honky? Is that what's going on?
Like it's. I mean, look, it's fine. I mean, boxing is a hood sport.
Shout out to all the honkies.
There are not a lot of good white American fighters, and so it makes sense that as the program continues, it gets a little more melanated.
Right. So we will be operating Friday from the media room during Radio Row. So hopefully we'll get some special guests along the way. I hear rumors of Showtime Sean Porter. So check that out on Friday. But I got
a huge get, Brian. What a huge get.
What a huge get.
We don't get it. We don't hear enough from Sean Porter. Kenny Porter.
Now you're turning heel. I mean, we good friends. We love his daddy a lot.
I love him too. But it's like you could probably have a show where he could probably be your co-host on this show whenever you decide to really go for it.
All right. I ate so much pizza last night and passed out grossly and woke up.
Oh, what? Yeah, talk to me. Okay, the Fountain Blue, Fontaine Blue, whatever the fuck you're supposed to call it.
I actually called it the Fontaine Blue, and then UFC PR was like, "You mean the Fountain Blue, sir?"
That sounds about the same. What's the food court situation there? Like, where can you get the cheapest food in there? Where is that Subway that you need to walk 2 miles to get to? The way I always used to get down with in the MGM. It's all the way down next to the parking lot. It's the cheapest meal you can find in there.
Yo, bro, this shit gonna hit your wallet so damn hard.
I hit him hard, really hard.
There
like
is
an elbow, like a Rafe Book's elbow.
So there is a food court, but it's like an elite food court. So, for example, you can either get a $9 slice of pizza or the whole pie for $53. And it's one of them jams. I mean, it's not too inflated compared to the MGM Grand. At Las Vegas these days, dude, you can't get 2 cups of coffee and it not cost $43. You know this already, but shout out to the Netflix Radio Row account. We get a little daily stipend.
Oh, the per diem.
Per diem. So
very nice. To my 2 favorite words that I don't know.
So BC swimming in per diems this week, which allowed me to eat too much pizza and feel gross today. But that's the game. Wow, a lot of stuff going on here. But here's the deal. There is breaking news, right? It was teased on social media by everyone from HE to Canelo to Dana. It was a big deal. Rafa Monzo wants to know, are you excited for the new Ring Magazine show called Inside the Ring, hosted by Max Kellerman, NFLer LaShawn McCoy?
That's who that was. I was like, who is this guy?
Special correspondent Ryan Garcia and permanent co-host Cop Till Ya Drop, baby. All right? It is a top operator fest. Indeed. They said they're going to change the way boxing is covered. Omaha Productions producing. Those are the Eli and Peyton Monday Night Football show. Those are the
is Turkey paying Omaha for the right to produce this? Because I can't imagine Omaha paying the Ring for this stuff.
I think Turkey's paying for everything this week, and I think this is one of those things. So first and foremost, no, I won't spend my per diem on Dan Flash's shirts.
I would. Them shits is nice.
Yeah, I'll definitely look
patterns,
into
Brian.
some
the
Panda
patterns
Express
are outstanding.
When these
shirts are so complicated, Brian, they cost $1,000. All right, that's how intricate the patterns are at Dan Flash's.
I was already warned by my people at the front desk that if I even touch the P and M&Ms right there, it's like a $37 charge because it's on them weights. You know what I'm saying right there? But we don't have to wait for the newest boxing show, Inside the Ring. I believe it debuts today.
So I got to talk about the weights first,
with
Brian.
special guests.
You're going to be like Indiana Jones there, right? You just bring out the sand. You're like, feeling the sand. Okay. Do the swap. Yes.
No. Well, let's see if I can swing. No. Wow. Yes, Rafe Bugs is a real one. So today's guests, after I'm done romancing the stone or returning the jewel of the Nile, whatever. Here's what I'm going to tell you. It's H.E., Dana, Bud, and Canelo. Your thoughts on Max Kellerman's return and this island of misfit boxing toys around him.
What, this show? So what exactly is the show? Is it like a weekly show? A daily
weekly show on DAZN, and then they'll put one segment.
A service that none of us have, so what else is it on?
I thought DAZN was going to hit us between the eyes with fights.
Is it on YouTube? Because if it's on DAZN, I mean, like, some people will watch it on YouTube. Also, who is that other guy that the Ring has doing shit on YouTube that no one in boxing has ever heard from or seen before?
There's a few of them. There's Showbiz the Adult. There's Wade Plemons.
He's Wade, that guy. Where the fuck did he come from?
So he is
Jesse Plemons is like special brother.
I think he's Jesse Camp from Who Wants to Be a VJ's older brother. No, he played college football D1. He is I
respect that.
Apparently he's got a wildly popular boxing channel that originally was focused on influencer fights, and it led to him getting an on-air talent role with DAZN for like Misfits boxing and some other stuff. He has made a leap. I'll give him credit. I think they allowed him to do a live podcast from like ringside of Usyk Fury, and it did like 6 million views, or maybe that was Tyson Paul.
Well, that is great. But in the Bartholomew household, all right, I only want washed boxing journalists, all right? Yes. I want Raskin. I want Mulvaney.
Yes.
I want Detloff.
Penn.
All right? Bring
that
it
waitress,
in.
Penn.
Yeah, Penn wants Mulvaney.
Penn wanted it on Mulvaney.
Yeah, Penn got her.
She's like, show me the polar bear right now, okay?
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. Take me to the Arctic and have your way with me.
God, good Lord. Wow. I mean, seriously, right?
Jim, I got to tell you something. Are these guys Russian or are they just in a hurry?
In all seriousness.
Continue filling me in on these details about this. So it's a show on DAZN.
So I believe it's replacing Ariel and Ade, a very whose 1-year contract expired on DAZN. Turkey also threatened to pull the plug on that during his war with Ariel a few months ago over social media. It's going to be a free segment from the show on the Ring YouTube channel, but I think you need days in to check out the show. Will you be checking it out? Is this appointment viewing?
Under no circumstances, Brian. No, I will never, ever sign up for DAZN again. It took me like 6 months to get out of that. The last time I got laid off and was trying to save money. Fuck DAZN. Fuck you for stealing money from me.
Oh, wow.
I'm never ever giving you any of my information again. Not signing up for something free because I know you'll just never leave me alone. And you ain't got no fights. You suck, DAZN. You're worthless.
Oh, wow. That is a hard take. Let Rafe cook.
And as far as the show goes, look, boxing needs shoulder content. Max did a good job. I watched the original Max on Boxing shoulder programming back in the day on Manhattan Neighborhood Network television. Like I love that shit. I wasn't even a hardcore. I did not even understand. But Max jumped off the screen. He's sitting there on like a folding chair with just the old school, telephone with the buttons and the twirly cord next to him. People are calling, and half of them are. I mean, the prank call. You watch half to hear Max rant about and just go on these soliloquies about Betty Leonard and doing like historical rank. I mean, it was like
Harry Grabheads, baby.
Yeah, going deep into the mind of Lee Groves before I even know who Lee Groves was, and from someone who really explained it well, like he brought it to life, and then on top of that, you would just get these prank calls where it's, it's New York, it's public access. So anybody up at like late at night or whenever it's on, just calling up. He's like, "Yo, shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch ass motherfucker. Fuck you. I'm gonna jump your little bitch ass." Like, and Max, like sometimes on public access television, the whole point was then the host would come be like, "Yeah, you know where I'm at right now. Let me give you the address of our studio. Meet me out, catch me outside right now. I'll be out. This show is over in 20 minutes. Get your ass up here." Max was way more professional. That he'd always sort of play it off well. In any case, yeah, that show was awesome, and Max is a very good host. I watched whatever it was called, Max on Boxing again when it was on ESPN for a minute. I enjoyed it. It's not like every episode was great. It's good. Boxing talk shows, we do them. I listen to boxing talk podcasts. Like it's a form of content that I enjoy. But no, I'm not going to go seek this out on a channel that's already screwed me hard for over a period of several months, offers no value in the terms of in the fights it provides. Because even anything good on their network, they're just going to pay-per-view it on top of everything. And it's boxing talk I can get in a million other places in almost any other form. Max alone, maybe I would figure out a way to steal that. But with the motherfuckers he's got to deal with on that show, no chance.
No. Listen,
You just touch gloves. Why do you need to touch the gloves again? You just touch gloves.
Agreed.
Did LaShawn McCoy win that fake fight or that weird football guy fight he was in, or he lost it? I thought. I don't
even remember. There's been so
he
many
was in
in
a celebrity football fight.
Yeah, there's been so many in a short period. I'm really done with crossover bullshit, including Jake Tank, including really anything else they can come up with. I want real fights. I'm trying to take a Rafe approach this week where, look, the honesty is I'm really excited about Canelo versus Crawford, and I'm trying to focus on that and not focus on some of the other hullabaloo. But there is a decent amount of pomp and circumstance on the ground this week, it seems so far. I am excited to see what the broadcast looks like inside that stadium and the UFC's first attempt at this. Also, what it will feel like as a media member inside that giant football stadium. So I don't care about these people or their family, but I care about the fight on Saturday. I'm trying to pull a half Rafe, a half you ain't no Valentino, Angel Garcia, right? Early morning bird call. Are you? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, okay? Let's get back to screwing people hard, okay? Right? No?
Yeah. They say he screwed me.
But did he? No, did he actually? No, did he? There you go. So yeah, that is happening. That was big news. There was some fake news, it appears, or maybe it's not, that someone on boxing Twitter who knew somebody knows that Terence Crawford has a seriously injured shoulder. Now, Bud and Bomac were asked relentlessly on the red carpet at the Grand Arrivals Tuesday night about that. Obviously, they said, "What are you talking about? I got two shoulders right here. They look fine to me." What do you make of that? I mean, you hear everyone that's close to the fight game say in boxing or MMA, all of the fighters are injured coming into every single fight.
That is what we always hear. That was my first thought. There's really no, I mean, it's the kind of thing that, I don't know, comes up before a lot of fights. You usually only hear about it again if a fighter decides to use it as an excuse later on. Hi, Ryan Garcia. Hi,
Manny Pacquiao.
Right, it's true. Yes, well, yeah, he needed to swim. All right, that was legit. That was legit. All right, we'll call up that Egyptian doctor.
Dr. Galakowitz?
No. He's a well-known Egyptian. I mean, he happens to be Egyptian. He's a well-known
he's
doctor.
Ahmed Al-Biali's doctor. Got it.
Yeah, he's an Egyptian magician with the shoulders, with the orthopedics.
Yes.
But really, what Manny needed to do was just get in there and do a few freestyle strokes in the Sarangani Bay down there. I mean, that's that fresh salt water. Boom, you're back on it. No, yeah, Manny. Those excuses happen. I would be surprised if Terence Crawford rolls that out in the event of a loss, but we won't. I won't care if he does. Like it's the same. Like if you're gonna get in the ring and compete, then whatever problems you brought into the ring with you, you're gonna have to overcome them. And whoever you're fighting against, I'm sure I'm sure everyone involved in this fight knows that.
Your two choices: call Dr. Heredia or call, who's that doctor that wanted to kill everybody?
Victor Conte?
Oh,
Kevorkian.
Yeah,
That's he's right here.
Those are the only two doctors available. Okay, so I think they're going to call Memo. I hope they do.
My brother-in-law had his what's it called? His bachelor party, or I don't know. It wasn't like it wasn't like that kind of bachelor. It wasn't a Vegas bachelor party.
It wasn't a Cali party.
No, it was not a Cali Sourland party. It was a kind of a chill camping style bachelor party at the cabins here, right up here near Bald Mountain, Lake Orion here, where in Michigan, where Kevorkian did some of his early euthanasias.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a little weird. We're out there throwing axes in the dark. No one got euthanized as far as I know.
Wow. Monzo already going to the weight jokes. I did see Bomac around the hotel.
True.
The guy is well fed and ready for this week. So shout out to Bomac. I will say when Crawford did what he did to Spence.
This is
my favorite moment was when Bomac in the locker room was all giddy and like tears in his eyes. Like, I told you, I fucking told y'all. He kind of did that when Max Kellerman put the microphone in his face on the red carpet yesterday. It was like, you guys about to see. Yeah, Boomy, you're about to see. You're about to find out. I mean, Rafe, if we are about to find out, and I guess that's ultimately the thing that is calling all of us to this fight, we have an opportunity to see like something freaking historic on Saturday. It may not happen. The bigger man may beat the smaller great man or whatever Max says. But like, if he don't, this is a remember where you were night, right? Like this takes the Spence win and doubles it, triples it.
Yeah, look, if Crawford pulls this off, even though on some level I'm gonna just be like, well, shit, man. I mean, he's only the sixth guy to beat Crawford for the eighth time, However, it was
Canelo,
still, whoever beat Spence, Canelo, all those guys. If he pulls it off, it'll be huge, and it's crazy because he already had really the biggest moment you can have in that kind of fight, you would think, against Errol Spence. Like, I've been chasing you for years and now I got you. And I like just left nothing to, to nothing on the table, just nothing to no questions. Like he just destroyed him. It would be shocking to see someone do that, anyone do that to Canelo, even this late in his career. But yeah, it would be shocking to see that happen to Canelo. But even the win alone would be monumental, be a huge achievement.
Hashtag abdominal heads.
It's up there, Brian, I would say, with what Usyk has done in the last few years, with the audacity of like, I'm smaller than these guys. I'm going up to heavyweight to challenge the very best at the division. And
those are super heavyweights
in every way.
Yeah, they ain't bridgerweights. Those are super heavyweights, which means he was giving up way more in size. But I do think it's, as we've been saying, I think historically, if it happens, it'll be compared to Roy Jones getting the heavyweight title, Pacquiao getting the 8th division, Ray Leonard doing what he did against Hagler. I mean, it really has all that together. But hashtag abheads, Canelo pulled the T-shirt up on the red carpet last night. Yo, that MFer, he put in the work. Like, this is why I believe everyone that's saying this guy's too old, he doesn't have the heart or the fire anymore. Some of that is true. Some of that, but not all of that. We're going to get the very best Saul that we can at age 35. I can't believe, though, that the odds are this close when Saul has seemingly every physical advantage. I mean, I guess that speaks to the greatness of Bud. You give me
every
weird looks.
Physical advantage?
Okay, age,
speed.
Weight,
okay, but he doesn't.
Okay, I get it. Smaller man stuff, no, but like activity level, like everything falls Canelo's favor. But you hear a lot of people saying, "Yeah, but
how about just like coordination?
Can he do it for 12 rounds? Is this the period of his career where he can't go 12 hard rounds if he has to?" That's what we're going to find out.
He hasn't been able to in recent years. He also just doesn't. He usually doesn't need to because he's going to get some help on those scorecards, and that's always the biggest problem when you have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. That you're starting a little bit behind. You're starting a little bit behind on the scorecards.
I mean, Canelo has been a pro for 20 years. So his 35 years old is a different kind of like, he's not damaged. He's not washed, but the mileage is real. Bud has fought once in 2 years. He's had a normal level of fights for a modern day guy. Canelo's pushing 70 pro fights here. So maybe the age difference isn't that much of a thing because of that. Maybe the size difference isn't that much of a thing because Bud's like an inch and a half taller. He's got a 4-inch reach advantage. He looks bigger than him when they stand up for these face-offs. I know girth is a different topic, and I know it'll only matter when the punch hits the chin and we find out, can Bud hurt Canelo or can Bud survive being hurt by Canelo? All that.
Would you say that Canelo's girth is like the Celsius can or like a Foster's can?
More like a Foster's can.
Yeah.
No, you back on that Celsius grind? I thought you were like Kroger, no sugar for life, fake cola.
I mean, I need both. I need both. Look, you saw what I look like when you turned this camera on, man. I needed this right now.
Yeah. You was washy. Okay. You look like all the people think Canelo is right now.
Okay? I mean, look, take it from one ginger to another. You need a little something extra to get up for those big moments.
Well, Canada's Brody Moret believes that the extra will be Reynoso getting him that EPO and horse meat this time. I mean, maybe Golovkin's incision conspiracy was. I saw
they're
the tracks.
not incisions. They were injection needle marks on his abdomen. When Canelo pulled up that shirt, did you see the injection marks?
I could not find them that quickly. I was so like his man aura was just, wow. I mean, okay, seriously now. I don't know if you watched them, but Netflix has 2 episodes of like a countdown type deal, a 24/7 type deal. They're good. They're always good. It's like pizza and sex. Even the gross, awful second-rate versions of them, you can still find, a climax in there, I guess. My point is this. Canelo was doing Floyd shit. Now, I know that they need to fill content, but he's going to the watch store going, yeah, I want that one. Oh, that one for $8 million. I want that. Oh, that one over there too. I want that one. I mean, the reports are from Sports Illustrated that Canelo will make between 100 and 150 million for this fight, and Bud will only make 10 million. Maybe that's a separate question to you altogether. Do you think Canelo, if you do believe that the fire isn't in there anymore, mixed with maybe we're looking at a aftermarket second-rate Canelo, is he too much into the money and that's why he's been taking on the lesser challenge?
What was the report for? Do you know off the top of your head, like what Bud's reported purse was for Spence?
I believe I'm going to guess that he made around 3 to 4 million at his peak with Top Rank. I'm going to guess that the
3 was his minimum, I believe, at Top Rank.
I'm going to guess that the Spence fight was 8 or 9 million. This doesn't make sense that he would only get 10. It really doesn't make sense. I mean, he's the one taking all the risk in a lot of sense. I mean, Canelo's taking risks to his legacy and stuff, but I don't know. But also, you got to give Canelo a supersized guarantee to get in there on a fight he didn't want. You know that.
Well, yes, but I mean, there's enough money to go around, especially. I mean, I don't know. In my head, it just seems. I don't know. Sometimes I fly a little close to the sun, Icarus, when I get to talking about girth.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, so much girth now. We really got to do this. Yeah. I guess those numbers sound crazy. I thought that like Billy Joe Saunders was making like 15, 20 million to fight Canelo back in the day. He doesn't have to fight until this year.
But think about it. In Floyd's Showtime deal, which was that 6-fight, 3-year deal or whatever, where he made, what was it, 300 million? Guerrero got 4 million. Maidana was getting 4.5 to 5 million. That's kind of what you did. I just feel like this ain't Berto. This ain't Jorge Cota. This here, Bud Crawford. I mean, do we just not know? Maybe the 10 million is the reported, but he's good. I mean, there's no pay-per-view.
No upside.
So I don't know. Maybe he gets one of them new Saudi cars. I don't. Maybe he gets a free copy of that video game that HE's been peddling. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. That seems weird. I don't care though.
What do you make about what Icarus is saying right here?
About to abduct. Look, that's not I would not get into the kidnapping business down there unless I really knew who I was dealing with. Is what
Okay.
I'm saying. But it's not a bad idea.
What kidnapping? You know what I mean?
Murder. Let me ask you, Brian, you're there, you're getting a little bit of the vibe already, although it's only Wednesday. So it's like, you're going to, people are going to be talking about the fight. There's gonna be a lot
right
more
after
buzz.
this, I'm going to Media Day. I'm going to interview Bud. I'll get a much deeper feel of an understanding.
But I'm curious, why do you think why are the lines getting closer this week? The betting lines, what is changing that makes more people suddenly think, oh, wait, the way we've been talking about this might be wrong. Crawford could be a lot more live than we thought. Like, you don't have to convince me of that, but all of the reasons why people favored Canelo are clear also, and they're good reasons. So why is that? Why has that changed? Is it just people are bored and they need a new storyline? Or
no, I just think it's been a gradual thing. I think that the memory of the Spence fight still, I mean, that's the first time where even I was like, maybe Bud could do this and maybe he could win. Oh my God. I know that that kind of went down when the Madrimov fight happened, but Bud hasn't fought since then. Then you see Canelo not being willing to try to finish Munguia, Berlanga. Then you see that William Skull fight where Canelo just stopped trying and was like, you put this clown in front of me, like, come on. And I think that fight made people go, okay, the wheels aren't there anymore. So even though Bud's going to be 38 in like 2 weeks after this fight, again, if there's anyone that can do it, he can do it. Then you get all the pro fighters like we saw with Tim Bradley being like, yo, he's going to knock Canelo out. I just think it's all coming together where the masses, and I don't mean the casuals per se, maybe like the people that are half in, half out. They're like, okay, what's the word? Canelo's old and he doesn't have the fire anymore, and Bud's still trying to prove himself. Yes, Bud is the one person that can do this. That's what it still feels like to me. And then you see that picture of Bud with the abs. Did you see that shit? The abs going all the way up to his neck. The pictures he released to start the week where he is jacked and ripped at this new weight. And I think people are saying to themselves, yo, he might go in there looking for the KO if it's even possible.
The Ripper Nutrition, that cycle is kicking, man. It's working.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, these odds wouldn't happen with anyone else. I mean, I do remember Floyd Canelo gave you some of the greatest Floyd odds you ever could, because the Mexican population came in, they all bet on Canelo, and it made it like that.
Right. Usually with fight week money coming in, it means people are going to be betting Canelo up, not down, not in the other direction.
No, I'm with you. He doesn't have that fan base to bet that in that direction. I just think everyone thinks they're sharp, and I really think it's everyone believes that old killer version of Canelo cannot be reactivated, where I am more of the belief that he's been coasting. He knows you can't coast in this one, and he's got to fricking bring it. The question is still out there if him at 35 can still go 12 hard rounds where he's half chasing, half fighting. He's used to controlling the terms in all of these fights. He hasn't fought a real challenge like this outside of Bivol in a while. Let's be very fair. In a while, dude. It's seriously. Yeah,
in a super long time. I mean, it's weird because Canelo fights for years, for certainly the entire time that I seriously covered the sport of boxing, Canelo fights were the biggest events on the calendar year, along with Floyd fights early on in my career. But then it was just Canelo basically dictating, just running the show. And he was, and probably arguably still is, the face of boxing. But his fights in recent years just don't feel like you could have skipped him. You didn't really need to see anything since the Bivol fight. You do out of a sense of obligation, but they were all against guys you knew he was going to beat, and he beat them in pretty predictable fashion. The only things to learn from that is that, okay, either he's coasting against, on it, frankly, pretty crappy handpicked opponents while ducking Benavidez, or he can't really finish. He can't finish anymore. Or he has some stamina issues down in late in fights and doesn't feel the need to step on the gas like he once did.
And people know Bud's a dog. It's become worldwide known. If you've heard of Terence Crawford, you know he's a dog.
The timing, all that makes sense. I agree. still the timing of how the opinion, on how this fight could play out, and more people starting to believe in Bud's chances suddenly as fight week begins, does not completely make sense. Doesn't quite mesh in my head, because it's like, yeah, you didn't already know that Bud was a dog? You didn't see what he did to Thierry Jean, or that whatever that guy was, who talked the tiniest amount of shit and then got knocked out, and then said, and then he's like, did you like that? Did you like that? I mean, or of course, just how vicious he broke down Spence. And I mean, like Arrow still hasn't come back. I know he.
No, do you know what Spence found out that night?
That black guy, he hits hard.
And he hits often, and he hits sharply. All right, our people, our viewers, our absolute hardcores have a bunch of statements that they need us to address, okay? Paul Saul from Louisville, always supporting this piece in the BCX. Thank you. He says, my wife asked me who I wanted to win. Come on, son. We know. But although it's weird, I've seen people tweet a lot of Mexican people backing Bud, a lot of African-American fans picking Canelo. I mean, like, it really is all over the place in terms of the 50-50 of what I'm seeing. But Saul, thank you, as always, for your support of the show. Hank Williams IV wants to know, Bud has 8 kids now. How much mileage does that add to a man, Rafe, in your opinion here?
Well, I don't know. It seems like he enjoys fatherhood. It seems like he enjoys his whole community and all my.
He enjoys his side piece. He told Shannon Sharp, that's what a man.
Sure. Yeah. You got to do. He came and then he came clean.
Oh my God! Wow.
But
I mean, hold on a second. We're gonna need Sal Pell to break this down.
Take one round at a time. Let him shoot his low, and then down the stretch, do what we do best.
When did you think that the fight was starting to turn, when he had shot his load and you could come out?
When he started shooting his low in the first half of the fight.
Yeah, 8 kids later, he's still shooting it. All right, let's move on from that one. Let me ask you this. A lot of people type in this right now. Nader on top of it. They say Bud looked awful against Madrimov. There's an argument here, not that he looked awful, but that should that fight against a very difficult style in Madrimov, who was an unbeaten title holder at that time, should that tell us that what Bud is truly trying to do here is not automatic? Or is that just a really, really, really awkward style matchup, Rafe? You tell me.
I think I think it's a little of both. I think both can be true in this case. Where I was even though I held Madrimov in high regard going into that fight. I thought I was like, yeah, he's athletic, he's tricky, he's got a good amateur background. Like he's he does the things that I felt were some of Madrimov's weaknesses heading into that fight were honestly just some of the sort of the dumb extra stuff he would do in fights, where it looks like he's just sort of showing off talents without putting it together with a clear fight plan. In any case, I expected it to be a good fight. I also just at that point Bud seemed to be riding so high and almost like there's nothing he can't do, that I was surprised to see him in such a close fight with Madrimov and struggle at times and with like it being a really tough fight that he had to step on the gas late to pull out again. We'll talk the not pull out like he maybe arguably should do in other circumstances, but to pull out the win against Madrimov. So yes, I do think that's an important data point. I also think you do take into account that Madrimov's a tricky fighter, and it seemed to be a style matchup. Like as good as Bud is, I think the eternal boxing truth of styles make fights applies to everyone, and that style also gave Bud even more trouble than I thought it would, and it's interesting to try to apply that to this matchup with Canelo, because on one hand you can look at them and say, well, if it's a styles makes fights issue, it looks like this style matchup purely on style alone is a little more favorable to Canelo than a guy who moves and who moves the way that Madrimov does. Canelo, I agree, Brody. Canelo would definitely stop Madrimov.
The new Canelo or the old Canelo?
Definitely the old Canelo.
The one that got Beefy
possibly
Smith.
the new one.
in the belly, that one gets Madrimov out of there.
So it's interesting to see how to apply that sort of the outcome of Bud's fight against Madrimov to how he might fare against Canelo. Because on one hand, maybe the style matchup is a little bit more favorable to Bud, and at least in terms of being able to exploit more of a speed advantage. But giving up a lot more size against a guy with a lot more pro experience, who's seen it all, who is, has risen to the occasion in every big fight in his career. Canelo has. He hasn't necessarily won them all on my scorecards, but he has never. He really. I agree with where you're coming from when it comes to Canelo, is that he's going to be ready for this fight. As ready as he can be, he is going to be ready physically, mentally, and Canelo usually in these big fights, he brings something a little bit extra. All right. I don't care how he motivates himself. He shows something like he did in the second fight against Triple G, when it's like he drinking his own cerveza commercials and decided to be bold and walk down Mexican style, Mr. Mexican style fake Kazakh, and did exactly that.
Con character.
Right. And so I think that Canelo will not only fight well, but I wouldn't be surprised if he also comes in being like, let me see if I can just knock this guy out quick, because, and make a statement, because he's a lot smaller than me. That's what I said. That's why I said this fight never should have happened in the first place. Let's try and back that up. And look, the conversation we had a few minutes ago about how big would it be if Terence Crawford can pull this off again, against a fighter of Canelo's stature and legacy, enormous. I think it's honestly as big if Canelo can beat Crawford. I know that he's the favorite. I know that there are a lot, the boxing consensus is that, he should have fought Benavidez instead. Well, he should have fought Benavidez before. I still want to see this Crawford fight. Crawford is going to be way higher in the Hall of Fame rankings than David Benavidez.
He thinks he's the BEST, Rafa.
To a lot of people who have watched boxing over the past decade, no one has been as complete or overachieving of a fighter as Terence Crawford. So I that's why when he said, I won't get credit for beating a smaller guy, I always said, Canelo, if you beat Terence Crawford, if you're the first person to beat him, I will give you all the credit in the goddamn world. Like, that will be, in my book, your greatest win, however you pull it off. So I don't care.
All right.
It wouldn't surprise me if he goes for it. Like Canelo, he usually tries to make a little bit of a statement in these moments.
He does. I think people are just sleeping on the fact that when he tries hard and cares, it's a different experience. We're going to find out. Brody's got an interesting point. I don't know if I fully agree. He says, Jermell Charlo was a real challenge, BC. People say Charlo didn't try. He did. He couldn't do anything. Canelo was too strong. There's some truths and some things I'll push back. I think the biggest issue for Charlo in that fight, undisputed versus undisputed, in 2023 fall, when he moved up 2 weight classes, similar, I guess, to what Crawford's doing, but it's almost like 3 weight classes now. Charlo didn't put the muscle mass on. He basically did it as a one-off, but then I'm coming back down to 54 to defend my titles, only he never came back down. Okay, that's the problem. But the point is, I think that affected him. I also think once he realized how hard that fight was going to be and he got dropped by that check hook, he's like, do I really want to get knocked out here? So I think it's different from Bud, because I don't think Bud is going to accept this. I think Bud is going to keep trying and finding ways to win, where Charlo got to a point that he's like, whatever. But to Brody's point, I want to ask you, should we have learned from the Charlo fight how hard of a move this actually is?
I think there's some truth to that, because as much as we like to make like the retrospect in, sort of the Monday morning quarterbacking of the fight was, Charlo shat the bed. He didn't really try. He just wanted a paycheck. And it's been easy to, it's been easy to let that, breathe air and put some air into that narrative over the years, because he hasn't been back yet. Right. Has he been back?
No. right?
He has not, but yeah, I haven't seen
Jermall
either.
just came back.
Yeah.
Jermall's had 2 comeback fights in that time, by the way. I call both of them. Jermall has not fought.
I wish I had watched one of them. But yeah, no, with Jermell, so for all those reasons, it's been easy to write off that performance and the fighter he was coming into it. But yes, I mean, you talk about a guy who until that fight seemed to always have all the confidence in the world, grabbing Marcos Viejas, the journalist, and saying, "You already know I'm the best." Right?
Hey,
and had lived up to it against a murderer's row of a lot of good competition up till then, right? I mean, the way he was knocking out Erickson Lubin, the way that he emphatically won the rematch against Castaño, like he's like the fighters who get undisputed by uniting a tough division the way that Charlo did. That's a really big accomplishment. It's a lot bigger than, it's not to say that when Teofimo does it with one win against Taylor or against Loma, I mean, those are incredible wins, but he didn't like those guys went around and were the ones to gather it all together. That takes time. It's trap fights. There's all kinds of shit that goes wrong along the way. And Charlo did that and came in probably with a lot of confidence, thinking all the same things that we could say that Crawford will think, yeah, I don't, I'm faster than this guy. I can outbox him. I can blah, blah. These are all the ways I know I can
dog.
Win.
I got more dog than Big Red.
And he'd had a lot of dog in him in his career. He'd come back in fights where he was down and knocked guys out, not down, not knocked down, but down on the cards. It seemed. All of these reasons, he had a good reason to believe he could win that fight, and something happened, after the bell rang that took all the air out of those sails. Yeah. Here's my question, Brian.
Please.
I think after the Charlo fight, I think we have to acknowledge that is a possibility for how this fight could play out. It will be enormously disappointing. All right. And I will be number one in the, logging on to Inside the Box whenever we talk about it to do my Sergei Kovalev, hello, my boxing fans. I'm very depressed, disappointed. Like it will break my heart, but Canelo has broken my heart again and again and again and again over the years. And he could slay another one of my heroes and make him look like he doesn't belong in the ring, because Canelo can really box, man.
But Nicky V thinks Bud's different, and that's the reason why. I mean, I do believe that Bud is different, but if Bud is getting knocked around and dropped twice, is he going to still keep trying to go for it? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of questions I have for you regarding the Bud weight gain. Meaning that, like, in some ways, opposite what Charlo did, he's done it the right way. He's taken 2 years to do it. He had one fight at 54 in between. He's been putting on the muscle and getting his body used to it. He's talking everywhere in these interviews about how he's going to have potentially knockout power. Our boy Arturo from AZ Ray says, but what about Buddy McGirt saying that Bud should have come in lighter to be more mobile? Do you believe the fact that Bud isn't doing that leads you to believe that he actually believes not just that he's the BEST, but that there is, and I make the comparison to Ward versus Kovalev too, that there is a path to victory in Bud and Bomac's eyes of getting in there, making Canelo
punching those nuts again and again,
that work rate be more than Canelo wants to, and trying to spark that chin. I mean, what will be, let's take the last 2 posts into consideration. Do you think Bud is committed to go to hell in this fight?
I don't know. I do not know. I think that most fighters, the championship level competition that Canelo has faced, which is, throughout most of his career has been, that's all he's faced, right? I mean, since he reached this level, I think most of those guys come in saying, I'm going to win. I know how to beat this guy. I'm not going to go out. I'm going to fight to the end. I'm not going to just, survive. I'm coming to win. I'll go out. They all think that, but then they have to deal with Canelo, and he takes that away from them. I think that I guess I do believe in Terence Crawford's, mental strength, his mindset, the dog in him, how bad he wants this, how vicious he is in general. I mean, he's high on the list of people who are like have you could see that they have like some charm, but also straight up can be evil at any. Will flip a switch and get evil on you in a second, medieval on that ass even.
Yeah.
All right, and but still, like that doesn't mean it's gonna play out that way in the ring. Like if Canelo, if Crawford goes in and finds out all the things he thought he could do aren't working, what's he going to do then? How do you, and that's, I'm not predicting that, but I don't think that if Canelo just is out fighting him and just, you can't figure out a way to beat him, then you might look like you're just there to survive.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people typing in the same thing. He's going to gas out. Why wouldn't you take a interim fight to get your body used to that? Blah, 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 blah. You could have said, why didn't Ray Leonard take an interim fight before Hagler after he got knocked out in sparring? You know what I mean? You could say the same thing, but sometimes the great ones still get in there and pull it off.
Look, it's going to be, I mean, that the question about the weight, one, let's see what he actually weighs in at. You think he's going to hit 168 on the button, or is he going to be, 162, somewhere around the middleweight limit? Obviously we can see the mass. We can see how he's bigger in the shoulders, although hopefully not so big that he did something to one of those shoulders. But it ain't like all the size, the size kings and queens out there who like to talk about that sort of narrative. We're going to find out, unfortunately, after the fight. We're going to apply all of our takes to that retroactively. There's no other way to do it, because if he the whole, you should have stayed small so you could have been mobile. Well, that's not a bad idea. That sounds good. But what if Bud got big and stays mobile? Like, that sounds better than staying small and being mobile. If Terence Crawford was able to put on however much weight and mass and muscle that he put on for this fight, yet still move and look and fight like Terence Crawford in the ring, then he did it the right way. If he didn't, then maybe he should have come up slower. Maybe he should have not put on as much weight. Maybe he should have, thought harder about, well, what's it going to be like? Have I ever really carried around 160, 165, 168 pounds for 12 rounds before? No, I haven't. So, it's a risk. And the truth is we can't really evaluate it until we see how it affects his performance.
I'm with you on that. Real quick, aside from Sidney Frankenstein, a lot of people are saying it. So I have light eyebrows to begin with, and then my barber this week specifically was like, "Can I trim those up for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." Does it look like I lost a bet and I got shaved? I don't know.
It looks like your left eyebrow starts in a little bit. It's not. You're not quite. Maybe have you considered microblading? You could get it tatted on.
No, I haven't considered anything. I want to ask you if you've considered this. It's a great point by AZ Reyes Arturo, again from London. Bivol even talked about how sore his arms were damaged from Canelo's arm punches. Callum Smith lost control of his left arm, it seemed like. It wasn't quite a popped bicep like Cotto against Saddam Ali, World Kid style. But do you believe that will be part of Canelo's strategy? And maybe that's Bud's strategy, knowing that Canelo does this, let me bulk up so it's not as much of a factor.
Yeah, that makes sense a little bit. However, if in the process of bulking or in whatever he did manage to injure a shoulder, even if there's any truth to that rumor, Canelo is not a good opponent to go into a fight with a bum shoulder. I love to hit people on the arms hard. That guy hits arms hard, and if that's the case, to whatever extent the workout routine may have, or the bulking may have affected his shoulder and created a possible injury, then maybe it backs up. It backfires against him. I think that Bud's best, whether or not at whatever weight he comes in at, Bud's best strategy for not getting his arms beaten up is not being, getting in it, moving in and out, using his speed and his footwork to limit Canelo's opportunities to just bang, bang, bang. Here, you want another one? Bang. Try and stop this. Bang, bang, all over the arms. I mean, I think movement is his best strategy against that, whether or not, you could get a lot of muscle. It still hurts to get punched in the arm. Like that's like
maybe Lamps was doing like a subconscious play-by-play of his own arrest that time when he put hands on that woman. Or we're not supposed to.
You think he was saying to her, "Try and stop it"?
Okay,
Bang.
enough of that.
Do you think he gave her the?
I got to stop this conversation before we get arrested.
Punch, the one that goes boom.
That Pacquiao got banned for that against Colati, right?
It's the same fight.
I got to reveal something to you that I haven't yet, Rafe, because it broke my heart. Monzo misses Saddam Ali, the 38-year-old
He's coming back.
world kid. So we came back the day before Labor Day, Sunday, August 31st. He got a win, and it was a card in Detroit at Fort Wayne State University. And I got asked to be the play-by-play guy, but I had a family plans that weekend already, and I had to turn it down. That could have been us, but I was playing. You know what I mean?
Could have been. Yeah. Look, man, I'm used to it living out here in Greater Detroit, in Michigan in general, in the Middle West. A lot of people, a lot of you coastal elites, a lot of my media quote unquote friends. What about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down?
Yeah.
They say they're going to stop by. They say, "Oh yeah, I'll come out and cover a Pistons game. Oh, I'll be out there to cover, the Red Wing." No,
they ain't coming.
They never show up. They
ain't coming through that door. Wow. A quick question here from Hank Williams IV. Is it possible that Bud might be banking on Ice giving Canelo the JCC Junior treatment, and that maybe this fight doesn't even happen and Bud wins by default and has to fight Rigoberto instead?
I think that's a pretty remote possibility, but you never know. I mean, shoot, I hope Canelo has not invested in any South Korean electronics.
All right, I will be investing now in Sidney Frankenstein's generous donation for the hair dye fund for them bras right here, them eyebrows. Okay, thank you, team. Thank you.
Just don't overcorrect, all right? You're too close to having to be on TV or whatever, or on whatever you're going to be on.
Do you know that thing I did? 3 years ago before.
Oh yeah, that thing.
When McGregor and Poirier fought in the UFC, and we did a live morning combat show from like the Park MGM sports book, and we had a desk, and I brought hair dye with me, but I bought jet black thinking I'm going to look like Elvis in the 68 comeback special, even though I'm more of a brown hair guy. And I dyed it like 20 minutes before we had to be there to go live. So I had like shoe polish stains, and I looked like more Ronaldo basically. And I had to go
Carlos
to
Boozer.
I had to go to the barber later that day and get most of it shaved. I made a huge mistake.
That's outstanding. Man, that's good stuff. Are you and Luke doing one of those classic getting drunk in a hotel room things for this?
I don't believe we are. No, I don't believe it, but you never know what can break out. Jaime Aguilar, I think. Jaime. Hi. Am I still getting called out by the Charlos? No, I seem to be decent with the Charlos right now. I am. I'm kind of decent.
But deep down, Brian, is you a lion or is you a snake?
Dude, they definitely thought I was Charlo. Jermel did during that Tony Harris.
They didn't think you were Charlo. They thought you were Cop.
I mean, Cop. Sorry. Charlo thought I was Cop, and definitely.
Although with Charlos, you never know. Like, you could be talking to a Charlo, and he might actually think you are a Charlo too. Like, he like, I don't know what's going through those heads.
Yeah, there we go. And no, I did not burn my eyebrows off at a Fish concert or Burning Man. That could not have happened. Let's hear more about this fight from these people. Ham Sandwich, do we know who the referee is? Yes, Thomas Taylor. And it seems like the judge is what?
Glenn?
No, Glenn. Oh. Max DeLuca, respected. Steve Weisfeld, maybe the best in the game. And the third one is a permanent name that's always up. Is it Dave Moretti, maybe?
Maybe always CJ Ross.
No, I'm solid on the judges. That woman judge, please. We've talked about this last week. Thomas Taylor's solid. Might be wearing a rug, but he's a handsome, muscular man. So I got no fears that that's going to be an issue. But Brody is serious about this. When Canelo wins, we need Rafe to admit on camera that Canelo is a great fighter.
Wait, I will. I'll say it again then. But I'm happy, Brody and everyone else. Nando, if you're watching today, I know you're always you'll catch up and stick it to me one way or another.
Oh wow!
No, metaphorically, figuratively.
Oh, okay.
Nando has a stick, but he just hasn't hit me with it yet. But no, I mean, I have had to face this fact, and I know it is true, that Canelo is a great fighter. He is one of the greatest fighters of this generation. We can see it by even the fights that on my scorecards, I don't think he won. Even the fight, and the ones that beyond those that BC thinks he didn't win, such as Austin Trout. He took on all those challenges. Even he didn't get outclassed in any of them. He honestly, the only person who I would say ever outclassed Canelo is Floyd. And he did it to Manny too, and he did
Bivol outclassed that BS.
He clearly won, but it wasn't as clear. He clear win, but still, the Floyd one was an order of magnitude beyond that. Either case, even with those losses, even with the close wins that I didn't think he won. Canelo is a great fighter. He's shown it and proved it so many times. He's not my favorite fighter. He's beaten so many of my favorite fighters.
I mean, you're both gingers. Let's be honest, right?
No, I ain't ginger, mate.
All right.
But I do like ginger.
I do like ginger.
I do like ginger.
Franco's been, shout out to A. Franco, man. This guy. What are you, like a cop, Franco, or a fireman? Anyway, he does those charity boxing things, and he is badass. He first hit us with, just got here, you guys want to comment on the Mauricio Suleiman situation, and then he went even further to support the chat. So here's the deal. Mauricio Suleiman, WBC, came out and said, I'm not being allowed, and he blamed Dana White, to go in the ring at the end of the fight for this undisputed clash and put the bootleg WBC like special Azteca championship, whatever the BS thing they cook up. And then it seemed like Turkey tried to romance and massage that by putting out a tweet yesterday with the two of them at the Grand Arrival saying, my brother, Mauricio Suleiman.
Was that the one where they're holding the weird little turkey statue?
Yes.
That's
one
great.
of those. Yeah.
And then did Mauricio make that? Did the WBC make that?
Turkey had a bobblehead made of himself? No doubt about it. No, the fighters were an afterthought in that. But Dana has said for years when criticizing boxing that he hates that so many people are in the ring afterwards. He hates that there's a podcast between every fight. Well, you probably hate the zone, Dana. That's really
Dana sounds like he's being he sounds like Suge Knight. Like, if you tired of all the promoters, all the managers being up in the video, come to death, come to TKO, come to TKO.
But there's a bigger question in this. Do you think, and A. Franco's got a great joke here. Will Mauricio be able to juke security and get the belt on the winner? Do you think this is a soft push from Turkey and Dana to tell the boxing world and tell the alphabets, your time here is coming to a close soon. We will have the Ring Magazine Championship. TKO will have their own titles. Somehow we'll merge those together. And moving forward, you can still get your 3% from each fighter if you can get it. But we ain't making you guys the default, trade federation committee. Hey, Rune Hako, you're out. Palpatine's in. Is this what we're about to find out?
It was deep. It took me a minute to catch what the fuck you were talking about there.
Yeah, baby.
Look, it seems that way. This seems like something that, for reasons that make sense because of, the way that UFC runs its business, and that, TKO being run by Dana White is going to probably, or at least the boxing wing of what, does TKO Boxing have a name? Is it just TKO Boxing?
It's Zuffa Boxing for the Prospect series. This is separate, where they just execute the Netflix shows for Turkey.
Well, that is annoying. But whatever they want to call it, it's not a surprise. We know that Dana, one of the reasons he has stayed out of boxing for, despite having an interest in the sport for all these years, it's because he can't, make his own belts, or he hasn't been able to because of the Ali Act, which may or may not change in the near future. So now that he's in control of this event, him saying, I don't want that, those WBC guys coming into the ring, it doesn't surprise me. I guess I will wait. I think I would say I personally will be reserving judgment on what it means for the big picture. Is this the full takeover? Are the sanctioning bodies out? And I'm going to reserve judgment on that until I see the sanctioning bodies no longer playing as big a role in the sport. If these events are getting made and happening without the somehow happening, say the Ali Act revision passes, and all this starts to happen, and there are big fights being made, and there is no alphabet sanctioning body attached. Yeah, then it's real, and we can look back at this as if it's the okay, this is really when it started, and they set the tone here and say, we're not, like, your era is done, and whatever is coming is new. But I don't know that it's going to happen yet. There's so many things that could still play out.
I think even though this chat hates Logan Dobson for his aggressive views toward the evil empire coming in, I think that episode may be the most important to show both sides of it. And I gotta say, like, what's my knee-jerk reaction? Hey, you pirates, you sanctioning bodies who never follow your own rules, are the biggest financial whores this sport has ever seen, have probably done more to ruin this sport over the last 3 decades than any positives they brought to the table, will take money and bend over backwards for Turkey instantly. And now that they're getting also potentially marginalized by Turkey, now they're in uproar and we got to get their back. Yo, F the BA, the BC, the BF, F all them. Seriously. It's not like I love the idea of what this new Ali Act can do, but part of me does feel like it's inevitable. And part of me realizes that there are some seriously broken things about this sport that I don't know if Turkey and Dana can fix, or if they are the right people to fix it. But going back to where we were with these clowns, like, give me a break. Give me a freaking break. Do we really want 4 to 7 champions per weight class? Is that what's best for boxing? No, that's what's best for Mauricio's vacation home. You know that.
I mean, it's also not. Look, yeah, I agree. I give a little bit of credence to the hey, let's be nice to the fighters. Everybody. We all get trophies now as kids, right? You get a trophy, like, get participation trophies. Like, so no, I'm sorry, that's too facetious, and I was trying to actually, like, say something positive. I just can't, as I start, and then, like, my personality jumps in, is like, no, we're going to be an asshole instead. But no, I do look to the extent that having, that the proliferation of belts, which dilutes the belts, makes them less meaningful, but also puts a little more money into fighters' pockets. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, I hope, and especially the new era that TKO we predict would usher in might be taking a lot of money out of fighters' pockets, just because that's generally how the UFC model has operated under Dana White, and now under TKO with Dana White. So that part, look, if we can get rid of the multiple champions per division, and fighters can still get paid well, and we can have a functioning sport, that would be great. What do you think the odds of that happening ever are, Brian?
No, it's going to become like MMA, where you have the dominant federation and league where you either are with them or you're against them, and then you've got the secondary one and a couple third tier ones, and maybe those fighters are all looking to graduate to get the attention of the big one. That's where I feel like it's going. I do think a lot of this depends on how long Saudi stays in there. They seem to not make money on anything they do. They're spending a ton this week. I just don't know how long, but this does tie into a bit of news this week, as Dana did the rounds on, like, local Las Vegas media, and he talked to PBS Las Vegas, which is Amber Dixon, who has covered combat sports in Vegas for years. And she kind of gave a hard-hitting interview, and Brody's detailing one of the things that were revealed is that Dana essentially said that his monthly Zuffa boxing shows will be the feeder system to get fighters ready and marketable enough to then fight with Turkey on Riyadh season and Ring Magazine cards. So Brody says it seems like Turkey will still be doing ring events with all of the other promoters. This is potentially answering some of the questions we've had on how do these worlds merge moving forward. What do you think about this? It hasn't been announced where the TV deal is going, but there are a lot of rumors it's Paramount, where that will be the feeder series to then give to Turkey. So maybe TKO has their own belts for the prospects, but then when you go to Turkey, you're only fighting for the Ring Magazine championship. I don't know, bro. What do you think?
Well, honestly, my read on that is that Dana is constructing a sort of retroactively constructing a story around the facts that exist now, the way it's been playing out, to make it seem legit, to make it seem like there's a strategy here. I would bet at the beginning, when they first started discussing this plan to create a Zuffa boxing alternative that has an opportunity to take over the sport and become the main player, they probably weren't planning on starting with a bunch of like mid-card fighters that frankly hardly anyone is going to want to watch. Like that's not the series they wanted to begin with. They wanted to roll up. They wanted to buy out PBC, buy out the whole world, buy out Matchroom, get everyone, roll it all up and start with. And I mean, they are starting with a bang thanks to this fight, but these fighters aren't involved with whatever this other shit is. So instead, we're gonna say because Plan A didn't work out. That's fine. Like Plan A's don't always work out. Here's Plan B. Plan B makes some sense. It's not all that bad. We're gonna make good mid-tier fights, hope to create some stars from it, hope that we actually develop some talent and fighters who belong on the world level and can have a reason, can have a decent, don't look out of place graduating up into ring cards, give them the shot and try and make it work that way while at the same time hoping to on a slower timeline bring in the big names that we weren't able to roll up immediately. Just to have the constant pressure of all of Turkey's money, all of Paramount's, or if Paramount is the broadcast partner, basically all of TKO's sort of tentacles throughout combat sports and sports media in general, use all of that to just keep pushing out the other players and have more fighters slowly trickle in and say, look, this is the biggest game in town. I'm going to have to figure out some way to make it work over here. So they basically graduated it to a slower plan, which makes some sense, but it's not as impressive as, we already breaks over, takeover breaks over, TKO time. We're in charge.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder, Ham Sandwich has the same question. A lot of the long-term success depends upon how long will Turkey and the budget that he's using be allowed to flaunt at this level until they make it profitable. And, I saw Turkey posted a picture of him sitting next to Louis DeCubas Jr. of PBC. And obviously we know Benavidez is headlining the next ring card, but I wonder if this is just the model. Keep doing with what they're doing on DAZN, using fighters from all the other promoters that are struggling to stay alive. I mean, but what about if the rug gets pulled, if the finances get pulled, then maybe we just go back to craziness and every man for himself. It's still wild. And we don't know. We just don't know, Rafe. All right. We just don't know. Rafe, they want to know, will you be at the fight as well?
Where do I appear to am I in a hotel room? No, I'm sitting in front of my same fucking stupid ass white. I didn't paint this white ass wall.
I like your white ass wall.
It kind of looks good, but with my crooked crooked teeth and my crooked frame behind me and all that. No, I won't be at the fight. I would love to. Brian, I was thinking about this, and it really made me sad for a moment. The last live boxing event I attended.
Yeah.
And honestly, the way things are going, it could be the last live boxing event I ever attend.
How dare you think that you're done in the box forever?
Wow, I've been done for 6 years. Why would I? What's like? That's.
What are you going to be like, Gabe Oppenheimer, and just come in and out of here, and then suddenly do a podcast about caramels and coffee? I mean, what are we doing here, bro?
Don't even get me started on that guy. Yeah, but you know what? One of the best reasons for me to come back inside the real box and see a fight live is so that the last fight that I did see live will not be for the rest of my life.
Which one was it?
2019's bout at the Staples Center in Los Angeles between Logan Paul and KSI.
Why were you there?
That was the only fight that The Athletic paid for me to travel to. The only fight.
Is it okay if we say F the Athletic?
No, we can't say that because for various reasons.
Pablo Torre is there, and I'm a big fan of that guy. Okay.
That I like Pablo as well. I would never say F them. But I was disappointed that was the only travel I ever got approved in my time there.
Yes, I thought you were going to say JSK versus the Rooster, which is like the best fight ever.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe you'll get a request from HE to put your hands inside of his. All right, put your hands where my hands can see. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that he's a big. I'm sure that Turkey is a big fan of another Busta Rhymes song from back in the day. We making A-rap money.
What minute?
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
But you brought up an interesting point earlier about Turkey's and his version of the Saudi, whatever wing of the Saudi investment fund he gets to play, that money he gets to play with. The money's not going to run out. He might have a like the national strategy for how to invest in sports and attract attention and use sports to promote the Saudi Arabia and Saudi interests and all that, whatever. All like that strategy may change, and eventually also these strategies change. They decide to move on and do something else. Turkey could get bored and move on and decide, I want to be the man in some other sport and start buying a bunch of tennis players, or I don't know, whatever the fuck he wants, and people might want a new toy. The money though is not gonna run out. They can, like boxing, like the money that Saudi investors have spent on F1, on tennis, on all of these other stuff. Like, come on now. Like, boxing is the small expense. That's the easy paycheck compared to that stuff. That money is long. How much didn't they drop? Like, just give away 200 Bs to Ivanka Trump's husband for his like fake ass investment thing. Like they got money for days. It doesn't matter. They can buy as much boxing as they want for the rest of our lives and our children's lives.
You really think so? Really think it's like
the money is there for it?
But is it like money we haven't even imagined? Is it like trillions? All right, I got an important question here. I keep seeing this guy popping up. Isn't that the dude that we hung out with at the Danny Garcia?
Come on, don't be. Yes, of course, that's Adam. What are you?
That's Adam, right?
From Queens, yeah.
It was him, us, James Bag Jr. Ricky Lopez, when Ricky Lopez was trying to steal your girl.
And also at that Broner press conference where we
Adam
Broner.
Lee's hilarious. That's the same bro, right? He was into
Come
like
on, you don't know this? What is wrong with you?
He was into Ellie style journalism, right?
Yeah. He did a lot of good videos. What is wrong with you, son?
That's what I'm talking about. It's my guy, Adam Lee. I can't represent. What you know? Yo, what up, Adam Lee? You mother. Yo, I got pictures with that.
I apologize, Adam. I don't understand. I'm shocked that BC forgets all the people all of his boys from over the years, man. Where are you? What is he? What are you doing, man? You start rolling around in a cage with like some homosexuals, and then all of a sudden you forget all your boxing bros.
It's just men in panties. Yo, you in here, Adam Lee? You still hanging out with wait, hold on. What are we even talking about?
Who's Ricci?
That's Callum Walsh's girlfriend, who's a fighter in UFC. All right, we in here, Chow. All right, I just want to know because you and I are still on that text chain with Bag where he just sends inappropriate things to us at all hours of the day.
Yeah, I'm worried. Like that is a bigger concern. Like if ever we have to surrender our phones to something, just having not deleted those texts is going to be a problem for all of us.
All right. Please post the pic of all you boxing bro. I don't know how to post it from my phone to the computer in a fast enough time that wouldn't make me look like I'm 79 years old. All right, that's the truth. That's the truth right now. Thank you. Okay.
Do you make an effort to learn to use any of the technology? Because I feel like we've reached this very long plateau here.
Yeah, we're plateaued for a while here. All right. We're barely on the air right now.
Right. Honestly, I'm happy we're on the plateau because it ain't going up after that. It's only going down for me.
No. I won't go down with another man. We'll find a way to get back up. Okay. You understand that. Also, yes, Brody is trying to get us to talk about Akhmadaliyah versus Inoue, which is a great fight that nobody even knows is happening on Sunday. And I'm not even sure it's on American TV anywhere.
I heard that it is not, which shocked me. But
so wait, you heard Keith Thurman will be there? Heard Keith Thurman was going to be here. Sounded boring.
Found the man. Still sounded boring.
Yo, what's the deal? Why is this fight, which is awesome, where I wasn't even going to talk about it today because no one's talking about it, bro.
Oh, no, we got to represent for the hardcores a little bit. Yeah, it's not going to be the main fight of the weekend because there's Canelo-Crawford happening, but that's an outstanding fight. It's a fight, and it kind of is crazy because fans, boxing fans in the States and in the UK, UK can probably see it, but we gave Inoue, some fairly well-deserved shit for taking a long time to get around to fighting MJ. And now I'm seeing Adam say it's on ESPN Deportes, which would be nice.
That's where the Oscar Valdez fight was.
That's right. They sort of just roll
Does
them over there.
Zanfer still have a plus deal? I don't know.
I imagine one-off rights are not that hard to negotiate. First,
call Mr. Honda. Call him.
Yeah. Look, I want to see that fight. I find a way to see all my fights. However, it is that fight deserves a much bigger platform here in the States. I mean, Top Rank. I mean, I know that the issue here is that Top Rank is currently without a steady broadcast deal anywhere. But Top Rank put a lot of resources into building up Inoue over the past few years at ESPN, and had they turned him into a major American star? No, but he's one of the two boxing fans. He's one of the biggest stars in the sport. He is appointment viewing to people who care about the sport. He's also the kind of fighter that, on the off chance that someone stumbles into watching boxing, which I think the chances of that in 2025 are probably maybe 1% or 0. But if that ever happens by accident, you're going to see him and be like, holy shit, that guy, that guy's incredible. And this is going to be a fun fight. All right. So oh, hell yes, it's on ABS-CBN. Hey, I'm a I want TFC subscriber, so I will be able to get that. So anyway, Brian, let's drop what a shame it is that there is not a big broadcast partner for Inoue MJ, and it's sort of forgotten for that reason, and because of a much bigger fight happening in Vegas this weekend. Let's just talk about that fight. How do you think it plays out? I'm sort of torn between two. It's either either MJ shows out and he's like, okay, I actually can push Inoue like few fighters have. I can be, I will be his toughest opponent since the first Nonito Donaire fight. And the movement is there, and all the awkwardness, some of the weird creativity that MJ brings, and he's got some power. And Inoue, we see that he's not impossible to knock down, right? Because he can be very aggressive, and he comes in looking to hurt guys, and sometimes catches a shot and hasn't really slowed him down. But it would be interesting if that happens again. Or is it the kind of thing where so I'm just overflowing with Raiders of the Lost Ark references today. I have no clue why. I haven't watched that movie in years. But it's Akhmadaliev comes in. He's doing all of his dancing. He's like my man with all the cutlasses and the sabers, waving shit around in front of Indy, and Inoue just looks at him and shrugs and is like, "Pat!" and it's over. Inoue just
we shot him,
sends him to hell.
Hank Williams is posting 18 times that MJ's washed because of the Tapales loss, but he has come back, and that was a while ago.
It was a while ago, but I think it has more to do with Inoue, and also I don't think that it's going I don't think that Inoue is going to have that much trouble decoding MJ's lateral movement and some of his awkward improvisational stuff that MJ does. I think Inoue will be able to cut right through it and get to the point and maybe end that fight fast.
I see a lot of people also echoing what Brody's saying, that Inoue that he's vulnerable now, that it's that point in his career, maybe where Chocolatito was when the Rat King showed up, where he is at a weight class where he could get caught. I mean, let's see, because he got dropped by Neri in round 1, who's a huge slugger, because he got dropped by Ramon Cardenas in a fight that was like Cardenas' coming out party, where he showed everybody that he's not just some showbox dude. He's actually kind of legit, and we'll get a big fight off of this. I think that makes this as even as it can be for a fight that probably should have happened 2 years ago, but at least we'll get it now. At least it's Inoue trying to close the chapter here in his weight division before he inevitably either goes up to 26 and fights that pocket rocket Nick Ball, or waits for the likes of Junto or Bam to come up and meet him. So I'm expecting ultimately that Inoue stops him late. But my biggest thing is I want to see is how long can MJ make that difficult for him? Because this ain't Danny Roman, and I love Danny Roman, but this is a different level fight for that. I do not believe MJ will get his hand raised, but I think he can make this way more entertaining than a lot of these fights for Inoue. Although
I can see that.
Cardenas was a great fight.
That was an awesome fight. I can see it playing out that way, and then there's also a side of me that just thinks Inoue might. There's a decent chance that Inoue might be able to just be like, all right, forget all this bullshit that you're doing. It looks fancy, but I'm going to knock you out right now.
Yes.
And either way, that sounds fun. Like, it sounds like a good fight either way to me.
I'm pumped. I wish I could give you more. I wish I prepped more, but like, it is what it is. The fight's going to happen. We're going to try to find a stream. That's where it's at. Okay. 2 turntables and a microphone. Hank Williams wants to know if we saw El Presidente Ike Ibeabuchi's triumphant victory 2 weeks ago in Nigeria, probably fueled by my 2004 emails to him in prison. He beat a cab driver. He called out Usyk. I mean, it's only going to get worse from here for him, but do you give him credit for getting out of the pen and getting a win? I mean,
why is it any worse for him? That's my president. Why are you talking about my president that way?
I mean, I think Karen Mulvaney's still trying to get back in the pen, if you know what I mean. All right, pen. I mean, she wanted that, man. Wow, that waitress pen. Yeah, I saw it. I didn't watch the fight. It's weird. Too bad he couldn't have come
Karen
back.
is like, I have a date with a Thailand girl.
Yeah.
Don't worry, she is actually a girl.
Do you think if we got Kieran on here, he would talk about that night?
No, I don't. Kieran is too classy, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to drag. It's hard to drag him down to our level, and I appreciate that about him. But I just don't see it.
All right. Hank also wants to know, were you guys impressed by Mick Conlan's brutal 3rd round KO of Jack the Bloke Bateson? Mick looked good. Now, you've always been down on Mick Conlan, always.
Yeah, why should I be up on him?
Remember when they were trying to like make the big fight, him against Shakur, rematch of they would have, from their amateur days, that he would have got washed.
It does appear like that would have happened. No, I mean, look, Mick Conlan is a very solid fighter. He just it turns out his amateur achievements didn't translate to an outstanding pro career, and one that he didn't live up to those expectations. Those expectations probably weren't fair. It's whenever there's an Olympian who did well, who had a moment, you build them up, but those fighters don't always pan out. They're better bets than a lot of other fighters, but they don't always pan out. And Mick didn't.
He's back though. Give him credit. I mean, he was in a few really great fights before he retired.
Yeah,
remember that one?
I'll never forget him being sent to hell by Lee Wood.
Yeah, Lee Wood with that curly perm just brought it.
Yo,
Galach in the house. That's what I'm talking about. A few bucks for BC to tip the bathroom attendant at the Spearmint Rhino. I'm more like a bro collection guy.
My man, yeah. What does $5 get you at a Vegas gentleman's club?
One spot forward in the line outside. I'm sure. Okay. Thank you, Galach. Let's get. Have you ever met that gentleman? I need to talk red wine and children with him. Not like in an Epstein way.
We haven't met in person, but we're tight. We've exchanged.
Where does he live?
What?
Does he live in DC?
You want his address? I'll send it to you. No.
All right.
No, he's in New York. He's from New York.
He's a New Yorker. All right. He's a New Yorker. Yes. Poolside Bloke is here. The big whale. I think Kieran smashed that night, but one day we'll find an answer to that. Okay. Not everybody likes to kiss and tell. Some guys like to pull an Irish exit out of a bar when women are after that. You know what I mean? Like,
that's my best move. I am undisputed with that. No one has ever gotten me. Nobody.
I do the Lithuanian goodbye, which is I just tell you to your face like 2 hours before you want me to leave that I'm old and I'll be pulling a Raskin. Raskin's been pulling a Raskin since before we got old and it was cool to pull a Raskin. You know what I mean? Raskin will be 8 p.m. bedtime on the road every single night. You know that about that guy.
I do know that. I also know that you can't bring any of that lactose around him. Otherwise, he'll be,
He's very
fucking-
intolerant. Yeah, very, very that
And
guy.
his ass straight to the bathroom.
I heard Rasky's got a big story coming out tomorrow on 9/11. I'm looking for it. All right.
It's about 9/11?
No, well, not directly, but like it may have undertones. But I'll be checking that out on Boxing Scene. Also, before we finally give our picks here, Connor Druk wants to know if either of us have done psychedelics.
I think BC has. I haven't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen his intro.
Yeah, I have. I've seen things. I've talked to aliens. It was a very good time. Make sure you do it responsibly and you are in a good mood entering into it. Not like when I did it the day I got fired from a job when I was 22 and then was in the fetal position on the floor wondering whether somebody could come save me.
I mean, here in Ann Arbor is one of the places that has decriminalized psilocybin. So I have been tempted to go out there and do some lame person shrooms.
Some peyote with a shaman. Yeah, that's.
Well, I don't think psilocybin counts as peyote. All
right, let's talk about this undercard quickly. Boy, that was a short conversation. No, seriously. Hank Williams wants to know who we're picking. It's the rematch. Sergey Bohachuk, who I saw walking around the hotel with his family, is going to take on an older Brandon the Cannon Adams. Shout out to BC on Ring City, USA, when I said, hey, like another Tom Loeffler fighter, Triple G, Bohachuk does such a good job cutting off the ring and getting inside right before a left hook from hell sent Bohachuk to his first defeat. Do you think that season 5 contender champion Brandon Adams could get a second win over Bohachuk on Saturday?
Look, I mean, he did it once. It is possible. I have been impressed with Bohachuk's form in recent years, right? I mean, when I picked against Bohachuk in that first fight and was thrilled when Adams pulled out that win late. However, Bohachuk has proven himself ever since then. Like he fought himself back into the conversation at 154 pounds at a time when that division is better than ever, right? And had a pretty good case for or has some reason to say that, hey, I deserved that win over Virgil Ortiz, and I didn't get a fair shake. All right, they treated me like Larry Merchant at Girl Collection, talking shit about Floyd.
If he was 50 years younger, he would have got a huge lap dance. There's no doubt about that.
If I was 50 years old or younger, I'd have an enormous boner right now. So anyway, I've just been impressed with Bohachuk's form recently, and I think I still think that Brandon Adams is good. Bohachuk was up in that fight. His style is such that I think he's going to be in a position. I think he's going to be up on the cards for, whether it goes to a decision or not. I think he's going to be up on the cards because he is aggressive. He comes forward. He does all those things that sort of the basic judges like to see. And Adams, it's a little bit like the Duarte Kenneth Sims Jr. fight that we talked about a couple weeks ago, where even though Adams can be effective, I think he's not going to, he's going to land some clean shots and make Bohachuk miss a little bit, but overall probably be outworked in more rounds than not. So unless he catches Bohachuk with another incredible counter that turns the fight around, ideally shortly after some commentator puts his foot in his mouth and starts sucking Bohachuk's Triple D, then I think that there are more factors to favor Bohachuk in this rematch. I think Bohachuk is going to get it this time.
I'm kind of with you on that one. That Virgil Ortiz fight, as Nader said, was a fight of the year type of straight banger. Bohachuk dropped him twice, but Bohachuk has been sturdy, strong, and really has bounced back beautifully. Brandon Adams like 38 years old now at this point. So I think we'll see Bohachuk at the hand raise, but let's see how tough of a fight he can put up with. Look, I really care about the co-main event. I won't lie. Callum Walsh going to finally get a big test here. I don't know if it's a huge test because Fernando Vargas Jr., who is 17-0 with 15 KOs, has fought even less competition than Walsh. But we know Walsh is Dana White's chosen one. We know he's a 24-year-old Freddie Roach trained Irish young star. Vargas Jr. can punch for sure. I like the matchmaking a lot. I believe if Walsh wins, he might be the first guy to fight for a TKO title whenever those get rolled out. Do you have a feeling about this fight at all? I'm going to be interviewing Vargas Jr. in about a half hour. I'll let you know, but I can't let you know now. All right.
I mean, I'm not very high on either of these prospects. It sort of feels like the one that this feels like. Remember on the Floyd on the Maypac undercard, there was Lomachenko versus was that the Thailand guy, and then Tank versus his version of some Thailand
Francisco
guy.
Fonseca.
It wasn't that one. It was because that was before. It wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Tank. Was it somebody else? Or was it Tank?
Tank Fonseca was May Mac co-main.
Yeah, that was May Mac. But it must have been Tank on the Maypac undercard as well. They each got to put
Great question. Who was?
They each got to put one terrible undercard fight on, showcasing one of their guys. And I remember the Loma one. I forget the Mayweather promotion / PBC one. Anyway, this feels like that. This feels like, we're rolling out these names who we're trying to build into something, but nobody really understands why we're hyping either of these guys up. I guess for the remote star potential that each of them have, as Callum Walsh being an Irish guy, and we got the John Duddy potential in here. Great. I mean, like, you could sell out the Garden on Paddy's Day weekend. Who gives a fuck? And Vargas being one of Francisco Vargas's kids, or Fernando Vargas's kids. So I don't know, man. I think Walsh, because he probably he's the A-side fighter, but I don't care about either of these fighters.
Okay, you're straight up on there. I think that Walsh punches a little bit sharper. I think that the inexperience and the lack of 10-round fight experience in a strategic fight for Vargas could end up being an issue. But I also think Callum Walsh eventually is going to get sent to hell from being too aggressive and confident in the pocket. So it could be an interesting fight. Nicky V's got Callum getting KO'd. I think he gets the job done and stops Vargas. And I think it's going to be a great opportunity for whoever gets their hand raised to really get some attention. Christian Mobili on the main card fighting Lester Martinez, pretty much being sold as a 50-50 fight. Are you team Lester the molester here? Because we know Mobili, either guy could be a future Canelo opponent, potentially. They might be TKO guys, I guess, if they're on this undercard, right?
I mean, I guess it's hard to see them being TKO guys immediately, just because they're going to have options for making more money elsewhere, it would seem. But who knows? Also, I don't Billy and what is it? The Son of the Lion or
Son of Judges? Yes.
Yeah. Son of not Son of Judges. What's that? What is that Canadian, the Montreal promoter that he's with?
Camille Estefan. It's called Eye of the Tiger.
There it is. Son of the Lion. Son of the Lion, Eye of the Tiger. Same
David
shit.
Lemieux, that beautiful gentleman.
Of course.
Yes.
I don't know how Mbili gets out of that to fight with TK. In any case, I don't care where they end up after this. I think it's a good fight. Mbili seems like you're going to have to tell me what I'm missing with Lester Martinez. Probably that he fights on those pro box things, and I kind of write them off as Friday night fights. But usually, like Mbili's had some really good, has fought at a pretty high level and looked good enough doing it. I'm curious because people must be very high on Lester Martinez to say that he's going to jump from fighting on Paulie cards to beating the guy who could be next in line for Canelo.
Yeah, I agree. But Martinez is a Guatemalan, 19-0 with 16 KOs. It is one thing when you're knocking out Joshan James, Ruben Angulo. Yeah, against two. I mean, Isaiah Steen is a decent name on that level. He's got a couple of those. Yeah, I heard of that guy on this level. But this is also a big opportunity for him. Dude, I still got to back Mbili on this. You know what I mean? I respect what Lester can do. Shout out to Hank Williams here. Lester Martinez's debut was versus Ricardo Mayorga, one of the most comical pro debuts in recent memory. How do I not know that? Right?
I know. I mean, it probably was not carried on U.S. television. It was who would have I don't know that you were following the huge, Central American boxing rivalries back then.
No. There was a rumor on Brunch Boxing put it out there that somebody on the undercard popped for Cocaína and will still be allowed to fight. I'm not trying to report anything here from Poolside Bloke, but I'll try to
popped where? Who caught them? Vada?
I don't know. Do we even have drug testing anymore at this level? I don't
Nevada?
know.
I mean, depends on. Also, how could they hide that? If they popped, if there was a test, then it probably would. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, Adam Lee thinks this is the next Edison Miranda. Which
is that good or bad? Because there were times when Edison Miranda looked pretty like oh that guy looks like a problem.
He broke Josecito's jaw against Arthur Abraham in that fight.
Oh yeah,
that was wild.
Yeah, I was like, he was too big to fight Josecito.
But I'm like, what source got that information? Is my question. Let's see what Natter has to say. Stripper in the bathroom reported it. All right.
Right after I put it in Callie's nose.
Yeah. There we go on that one. All right. Enough of this BS because you don't care about the families or the fighters on this undercard. There's a couple other matchups. Jermaine Franklin's on here. I mean, nothing that's lighting
auditioning for Moses Itama.
Yeah. Main event time. The odds are close, dude. The odds are really close, but that is always affected by the betting, and a lot of people are picking Bud. So many fighters are picking Bud. It's crazy. I saw David Benavidez say, look, Bud's a badass. It is possible, but he's going to find out that weight classes are there for a reason, and he's going to lose a decision here. Rafe, what does this fight look like?
Man, I think we're going to hopefully find out very early on which way this fight will go, or at least what kind of fight we're dealing with. And hopefully it will be the good way. It will be, we will see Crawford, I think, look to be a little careful early, but also I think start fast, like establish his jab, right? I mean, like good jabs have been a problem for Canelo, and especially as Canelo has only gotten less active in terms of his punch output over the years, and that ties back into stamina and some of the issues we've seen. I think despite, you don't want to, Crawford's going to be careful, but I think he's going to look to establish his jab, try and, win rounds early, because you don't want to fall behind. You don't know how far you're starting behind when you fight Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas. So be careful trying to get behind, trying to start slow, download information against Canelo. Also, give him opportunities to start, getting into a groove. And this is also true. It is against the rules in this household for me to pick Canelo. I abstain when Canelo fights William Skoll and those guys.
I think that's a Bible verse. As for me in my house, we pick against Canelo, right?
All right. So in any case, I think that there's that version of the fight. I also think that what we should be looking for are signs that Bud has bitten off more than he can chew, that he actually found the ceiling in terms of what he can do going up in weight so fast against such a good opponent. And that, as Paulie loves to say, weight divisions matter for a reason, right? And that is often true until a special fighter comes along and shits all over that with the help of Memo and Victor Conte, 2 snacks and a pharmacy and all that good stuff. And Canelo's bringing his beef to the fight as well. So I think I'm not worried about that marring the reputation of or how we feel about this fight after the fact. In any case, I think that, so I'll be looking for signs that Crawford is not able to be as effective as he thought he would be, or that his movement is not troubling Canelo as much, or if Canelo looks comfortable despite some early success, right? If it's like, we saw Amir Khan winning, looking like he was winning rounds early against Canelo. None of us were really that alarmed over this because, like, okay, we see Canelo is not bothered by any of this. He's still putting pressure on with his feet ever so slowly. He's not a master at cutting off the ring, but he's there, and he's slowly, and he's starting to get closer with the body shots. And do I think that he's going to viciously one-shot KO Terence Crawford? I would be surprised if it looks like it did with Amir Khan. If we're scraping pieces of Bud off of the mat like 3 hours later. But I do think I will be looking for signs of all right, Canelo looks really comfortable. This is not bothering him at all. He's going to have the opportunities to turn this fight, to his advantage later. So those are the things I'm looking for. I guess I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the version in which Crawford has success and Crawford has to make some adjustments and come out and all that's like. Should it be Amir Khan? I saw Nader jumping in there with some. It might be Amir Khan instead of Amir Khan, but we're dumb Americans, man. Yeah. I can only be counted on to pronounce Filipino names correctly.
Will you ever accuse AJ of sleeping with your wife?
I hope not, because
Okay.
that's
how about
that's
Ricky
not
Lopez?
gonna work out for me. Well, he he shot his shot, but he
couldn't.
couldn't.
You got to give him that.
Yeah, he tried to rizz him up, but no,
bro.
They're coming home to me.
Your only chance of getting Mrs. Bartholomew is in the emergency room. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
In any case, man, how do you see it playing out?
Canelo by decision, man. I mean, look, I think Bud is
I
going
thought
to.
we were going slow. I thought we were doing the how.
Yeah,
is this going to happen?
We
He's
are
jumping
going
in.
slow.
All right, go for it. Canelo by decision. Tell me.
Shot his load right here. Okay, you know what I mean? Just shot his load right here.
He's trying to warm you up. I was, I was just doing just heavy petting for now.
I just got so excited. It all leads to that, which means that I think some of the theories that we're looking at could be true. I think Bud could have pocket because he is so great. I do not underestimate the game planning of Bud and Bomac, whether they're using Uncle Andre Ward, Shakur, like they got a lot of minds on that side of the line. I believe that they do see the weaknesses in Canelo that a lot of us see. I don't think those weaknesses will be as profound. I'm not saying that Bud is biting off more than he could ever chew. He will have moments in here. But I do not believe that Canelo is shot. I do not believe that his foot speed is going to be such a problem against the Bud who hasn't really proven over 12 rounds with that weight that he can be slick and all of that. If he comes in here looking to do crazy shit and get inside and brawl and hold, it could get interesting. He could also gas out doing that because that's really not his game. I think the best case scenario for Bud is to go southpaw early and really mix it up. Have rounds where he's making Canelo chase, have rounds where he's getting inside and risking it a little bit to try to keep this fight close in the hopes that in the second half, Canelo has problems fighting 3 minutes hard and that Bud has done the work and knows that he can make this a little bit into a track meet, not a Williams School track meet, but the kind of track meet where he's darting in and out, where he's really frustrating. I mean, look, Canelo kind of did that subtly to Triple G, frustrated him to the point where he knew Triple G's only going to land that right hand if his feet are set and he's going to throw it. So really Triple G was like, I gotta jab him to death here. I'd like to see Crawford try to put Canelo in that situation here where he takes away a lot of the things he does well. But imagine him landing big shots to the arms and body. Imagine him slowing down and wearing down Bud. I believe that Bud is a marauder, that he's a G. He's everything that you can say about him. But that chin ain't going nowhere on Big Red. Okay? It ain't, man. He's not going to get knocked down. He's not. He will adjust out of that. My biggest question here will be, will there be a hipster argument for Bud winning 7 rounds? That's my question. I think it's going to be 8-4 Canelo. I think it's going to be fairly solidly 8-4 Canelo, where you go, you know what? Maybe it's like Mayweather Cotto in a sense, where it's like, man, Cotto fought as well against prime Mayweather as anyone else did. Still only won 4 rounds, but he bloodied that nose. He made Floyd have to fight at times. He made Floyd have to really show strategy at times. He's a Murata, okay? Rich Murata, who's here to welcome Turkey into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Yeah, I'm going to give you the sensible take. It's not so much I'm going to slam the door on him and say weight classes are for a reason. No, Bud, you're super special. You're going to make Canelo have to work here. But Canelo's so freaking smart. He's still in great shape. This ain't Munguia. This ain't Berlanga. But do I believe Bud is going to make Canelo chase like Lara and School did? No. I think part of Bud's backbone will end up getting him into trouble because Bud's not going to try to win a backdoor decision. Bud's going to try to win the fight straight up, and that's where he's going to find problems. Does he get knocked down? Probably at least once. But at the end of the day, I like 8-4 Canelo. Maybe somebody goes, nah, brah, you missed it. Bud deserves the win. Maybe. But there'll be no rematch. But, you know, and then we probably get Canelo Bivol 2 next. That's probably where we're headed here. All right.
Okay.
That's probably where it is.
So I have a question about Bud's, how Bud may approach this fight, Brian. If we see him having success early, it looks, at least to the people scoring at home and at ringside, who knows what the judges are going to do. Let's leave him out of this for now. But it looks like Bud is having success early. He's having sort of success on the outside. He's not hurting Canelo. He appears to be clearly outpointing him. The jab is working. He's not getting hit. Canelo can't seem to find him early. If at say the first 4 or 6 rounds, that's sort of the narrative of the fight. Do you think that that Bud Crawford down in the second half of the fight, do you think that he will need to step up and sort of ratchet up the pressure more to try and, you know, put away the fight, or go into or just keep doing what he's doing and be happy? Is like, look, I'm winning this way. I will continue winning this way until you make an adjustment that makes me adjust to that. Or is it just like, no, you can't, you're going to have to bring it to Canelo eventually if you want to beat him?
I mean, there's a limit to bring it to Canelo. I think Bud has to be thinking here, we have to go into the midway point of the fight, completely in the fight, 3-3, up 4-2, but they better have the stamina to make Canelo work late. That's got to be the mindset. Maybe he thinks they stop Canelo late. Maybe they think Canelo will start, you know, the output will be down. I don't know, man. But like, are you really going to, like, as much as I get what Tim Bradley's saying, it doesn't have to be knockout power. It's sharp power. He can buzz him on the chin, and then you know Bud is going to light him up. Dude, if Canelo hits the canvas, I mean, I'll be fucking shocked. Right?
It is the theater of the unexpected for a reason. I mean, okay. Were you shocked all the time when it became clear that Errol Spence was getting the ever-living shit kicked out of him by Bud Crawford?
Yeah, I was pretty damn shocked.
Seeing him go down, was that for the first time in that fight? Was that a little bit shocking? It
was, but it's not like I instantly went to, well, Spence is 35 and this weight cut to 147 is super hard. I instantly went to Bud's better than I thought he was, for sure. For fucking sure, bro. Also, seatbelt Sullivan, 2 accidents. It's like straight up, right? Like I still don't know what that fight really was. I do believe I know what Bud showed us. True freaking greatness, which is why this fight is even possible on Saturday. But I also, that's at 147.
I know.
The Madrimov fight has to mean something. Where was that power? You know what I'm saying? I
mean, yeah, is it fighting a guy who on some level was harder to, you know, on a lot of levels was clearly harder for Bud at least to hit. But also the power didn't seem to really, it wasn't there. And yeah, I don't expect him to beat, you know, to do the same to Canelo, but man, he's shocked us before. He's shocked, you know, he's, you know, exceeded those, he comes in with high expectations and he finds a way to exceed them in ways that are not the way that I thought that he would a lot of the time. So I don't rule out the possibility with Crawford. Let me give you a prediction. So look, we know the rule, all right? It's on the wall, all right? I'll show you the sign one day. So we do not pick Canelo in any fight, and we abstain from fights that he's short.
Even Jake Paul? Canelo versus Jake Paul? You're going Jake Paul?
That's an abstention. Yeah, that's a definite abstention. No, I actually would love to see Canelo knock out Jake Paul. I hope they make that fight. But in this case, so yeah, I believe this since the beginning, man. I think that Crawford is good enough. I think that he will even with carrying on more weight. I think that he will still have and will be able to carry his speed advantages and his agility advantages and his lateral movement advantages through the fight into the late rounds. And Canelo, at least unless he has figured out, a way to vanquish the issues that he had been having with stamina late in fights, I'm not really expecting Canelo to turn up the pressure late in some shocking way either. So I think that, I trust that we will see that like a really competitive version of Bud Crawford who's able to outbox and clearly enough and earn a win that feels like 8-4, 9-3 on the scorecards. And maybe he gets a draw or a split decision victory over Canelo.
So you're ultimately predicting a borderline outclassing, but one that Bud hangs on for a 115-113 win.
Yes.
You're predicting the Bivol fight, but it's just going to look different.
Well, not in the same way, right? He's not like Bivol's size was too much for Canelo, and that's not going to be how. I think the combinations. Actually, that's what I'm going to be. That's one thing that I really am going to be looking for. If Crawford can be able to get in and out, land quick combinations, and stay. If he can get in and out quickly and land some real combinations, I don't expect them to hurt Canelo, but I honestly cannot think of the last fighter other than, and even Floyd was not really in his combination punching point of his career, right? It was more that he was able to make Canelo miss everything and counter perfectly whenever he needed to. But I'm struggling. I can't think of a fighter who has landed like 2-3 punch combinations on Canelo. You might get a shot in, but it's been not too many people actually get in for 2-3 consecutive clean shots in one exchange.
I feel like if Danny Jacobs was willing to risk the knockout in the championship rounds, he could have done that and won that fight.
Well, good for him. All he did was miss punches by a mile and lose.
He beat Cancer.
Yeah, well, it might have come back and cost him the fight.
Okay.
Who knows? But in any case, Brian, so even though I'm saying I've never seen anyone do this to Canelo, I think that's what Crawford is going to be able. I think Crawford can do that. I think he's good enough. I think he has he has all the tools to do it. He has the creativity in the ring to do it. He has the brain to do it. And I think he will be conditioned enough to weather the serious fire coming back at him from Canelo, who I think will look as good as we have seen him. But I think that he has enough to win this fight. I think he will outbox it. I think like I think that it could be like, Floyd versus Canelo too. It won't look exactly the same, but we're going to see someone outbox this guy for real and hopefully get credit for it.
Will it be worse if the fight is boring or if Canelo wins a decision he didn't deserve, which immediately sets up a rematch?
Will it immediately? Well, you don't think Canelo just walks away after that? I don't know.
If he loses, hell no.
Oh, you said lose. I thought he gets a close.
I'm sorry. No. Sorry, you're right. If he wins one that he doesn't fully deserve, he might be like, I ain't going back in there. It's like, yeah, maybe you're right. And nobody, he has options to not do that. Like he could say, well, now I'll fight Benavidez. And everyone would be like, hell yes. All right. Fuck you. Go away, bud. So in any case, Brian, honestly, when it's two fighters of this caliber, the possibility of a boring fight doesn't really, it's not real to me. Yeah.
Because there's no such thing like it could lack action. It could be boring to people who aren't fans of boxing.
No Tom and Jerry.
It's not Tom and Jerry. If there's not fucking blood flying everywhere and knockdowns and crazy action and Emmanuel Stewart's ghost up in heaven going, oh my God, Terence Crawford, look at this. Like if that's not happening, it's because we're seeing a really tense, chess match type fight, which it might lack action. It might not have us jumping out of our seats, but I think that serious fans of the sport generally can appreciate that and can recognize it when it's happening, that these are fighters who, they aren't going to war because they each have such dangerous arsenals. We have a little bit of detente here, and they have to try and figure out a way around it enough to win a fight. I want to like that's never boring to me. The best fighters in the world doing their best to try and get tiny advantages against each other, even if it's not like take your breath away action, even if it's slow action. That's not boring. It's never boring when they're this good.
Well, it would be exciting as shit if Crawford gets a win he deserves, gets the history, gets the fanfare. I mean, he is that dude. So, secretly, am I cheering for him? Yeah, I'm cheering for Bud Crawford to do this. I don't know if that's fueled by some weird hope of boxing karma that Canelo gets burned for not fighting Benavidez and acting the way that he's been acting, but let's go. I mean, also it was a little annoying yesterday. Pugilism is right. The way Canelo looking light on. We're getting did I click the wrong one? Yeah, I did. Oh, I read it wrong. I thought you were ripping him for coming in late to the grand arrivals, flaunting like a peacock on there.
Don't make media wait. We don't do that to the boxing media. We're important people.
It is what it is. I got Canelo by UD. You've got Bud by SD or UD or MD, right?
Yeah, but I'm also going to need you to give me some info today after this media day about the shoulder. All right. Let's real quickly. Let's have a quick little brainstorm. What are some ways that you could get a little bit of demonstration, get kind of, test that shoulder out, right?
You're right.
He's not going to let you give him a massage. I don't think.
What if I throw a punch?
Don't walk up, but don't do that. And do not walk up behind Terence Crawford and startle him in any way. However, what if you we're gonna play a game. Raise your left hand if you're gonna beat Canelo, and see how fast it goes up, or see if he's like, see if
meanwhile Bomac's pouring salt on his shoulder.
Yeah, we're about to barbecue that later.
Yeah. Good Lord. It's going to be interesting at Media Day shortly. I'm going to go check that out. But Rafe, we gave the people 2 power hours here of nutting, of us nutting. Although, I mean, sorry, nutting, but Bud Canelo, I'm fired up Saturday. I can't wait to break it down with you next week. Will you be watching live?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna fuck around. I'm gonna watch this one on Netflix. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna be wishing that you were on the call. Yes. But I know you will be in the building. Or will you be in the building, or is the media being sent to some weird remote location? I hope you enjoy the fight wherever you are, even from the Spearmint Rhino.
I mean, did we have an issue this week that I'm not going public with? Yes, we did. But I hope to be in the building Saturday to see history. Let's go. Great fight. So I'm not going to be able to do a BCX reaction after. I'll be going live on CBS Sports HQ. I'll have a camera man and producer with me. So
who do you really care about, Brian? You're telling me you work for your employer before you work for the people?
Yeah. My employer's putting food on my table and giving my kids medical benefits.
I'll cook for you. I'll be your chef.
I'll CBS Sports for life, brother. Okay, we're going 9 years strong on this marriage. Let's hope we re-sign big in March. Yeah, baby, let's go. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys enjoy the fight on Saturday. We'll be speaking next week. We can rip certain elements of this, the promotion, them saying it's the 2 best fighters in the world. It's the best fight since Mayweather, whatever. All that bullshit aside, this is a real ass fun fight, and I can't wait to see it. We got Kellerman back with Anik and Ward. If you're a big, AC Slater and Cop fan, you're gonna get served as well. There it is. And hey, Adam Lee was in our chat, so it's all coming full circle. You know what I'm saying?
At least somebody got the score right.
There it is. We need a 3 billion word recap from Rafe. Great stuff. For Rafe Bugs and Carol All, right?
Just personal, whatever you want to do to bond. We
So are
may
you
cut
married?
this up later. No. Are you?
No.
Good. All right, switch places. You have 11 points. Congratulations on that.
We exchanged numbers after that, by the way.
He gave you a fake number.
Yeah. There it is. That's Rafe Bugs. Enjoy it. Here's the best outro in podcasting. We are out
We're
of
out.
here. Thank you.